live again, and you hear a very strange core atmosphere. Okay, so the sound you heard is essentially you see a patch in front of you, which I posted on Facebook, but essentially this one, which I posted on Facebook, is not fully correct. It's um, it's the one we used on the Peru album. So I posted on Facebook this patch from the Korg MS-20, two connected to each other for creating a male choir. This sound is more the male choir, and you can hear this on the Peru album. This one, which is essentially the track Bermuda. On that track on this album from 1983. No, 1982 it was. It's the Bermuda track, which has this very low sound, which sounded a little bit like choir, male choir. So let me play it again. Of course, it's in terms of tweaking, not 100%. The Korg MS-20, they are old. They not fully functional. Sometimes you need to have them a little bit tweaking in terms of the dials. They tend to have a lot of noise again. But so yeah, this is what I posted on Facebook, and in the meantime, I adjusted the text because the choir on the other Nova track was a different patch, but I could not find it yet. Where it is. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I see people popping up. So, this patch I just played on the MS-20, which is not 100% okay. Sounded like this. I must say, I need to listen to the track for the little fine tuning because what you see in the patch here is that it has a very high resonance. Likely I was tweaking it around, but yeah, that's the patch on the for MS-20, and this choir sound is also done in a different setting, also used on this song from Nova called Soul. Slightly, and try if I can play it. Um, a second. Open a few things.
Vier jezelf met Andrelon Pro Nature. 0% sulfaten en siliconen, 100% biologisch afbreekbaar. De siliconen zijn vervangen door natuurlijke kokosolie.
Yeah, we get some advertising, but it's about the intro sound, which is done by using two MS-20. So this is more like a choir sound, but it's much higher than the preset or the patch what I shared on Facebook. So my accuse for the people who maybe did try this patch on the Core 20 and don't get the sound. So it was played far higher and with a different filter setting. So the one which is on this patch here is the one which appears on the Constellations album of Peru, which, by the way, had an awful ugly cover, which is then because it's so ugly that it's cool again. And so the back panel has Bermuda, and Bermuda is not on the CD version, so we are looking into it and getting the Bermuda tape somewhere popping up. So that about the choir sounds. Okay, let me check if everything is fine here. My headphones doesn't seem to work. My testing. Yeah, now it's better. Okay, so what is the news? Yeah, of course, we are working hard on new products. We will have in May a new FX, which gonna be cool on your vocals or on a guitar, for instance, a steel string guitar, for instance, or electric guitar. So keep it posted on that. And of course, we work on this distortion plugin again. Okay, let me see if the webcam can be a little bit more. Okay, here we again. Yeah, we are in progress of having, as mentioned, the Albino 3 being compatible with NKS. But before that, I want to share you another cool news. One second, so I need to switch off a few things here. Here you can see a 12-inch, which is going to be released in very soon, in a couple of weeks. We made a project in 1983. We released the Prophecies, a CD with Peru. Peru may be a strange name for some of the people, but it was formed by Peter and Ruth, and I joined the band a bit later on. And a Belgian DJ played these songs from the album, which was from early 90s, in a club. And the people enjoyed it. So it's going to be released as 12-inch very soon. And of course, I will post that also once it is out in the newsletter and on the Facebook Peru page. And it's been remastered by Stefan. How is his name again? It's on the 12-inch. You can read it here, down here. There's a little story about this 12-inch. It's mastered by Stefan Betke at Scape Mastering. It's distributed by the Grid in Berlin. And it has a very special artwork by Seppe Klaas, which is, I think, a Belgian guy. So for the ones who like 12-inch or playing, or maybe you are DJ playing 12-inch in clubs, it's going to be released. Cool, isn't it? Okay, so that's about the music news a little bit. So let's go back to what I'm working on currently. Is we have, of course, what I mentioned, the Albino 3 NKS. It has been sent to Native Instruments. They check if everything is okay, and then we will release Albino 3 with the NKS support. Let me see if I have it here. Let me see. Complete control. You need to. You changed a little bit the. Here it is. Albino 3. And then you see all the banks. Arpeggiator layered. Double click and it loads in. Yeah, and you see we had also some parameters layout, which is a little bit difficult with Albino 3 because Albino 3 has the option to have 4 layers. And each of the cutoff of the filter types have its own, excuse me, its own a cutoff filter. So the cream filter cutoff is a different parameter than the silk filter cutoff. So if you look here on the page, the first page is the layer 1, the AMP envelope, attack, decay, sustain, and release. Then you got the 4 oscillators volume. So if 4 oscillators are used, you can control the volumes. And the next page is the filter envelope of filter 1 and the filter 2 envelope. And then you get the other controls for the filter. So filter 1 is the here it is, this one, filter silk for the silk type filter. If in filter 1 the cream filter, you see its own cutoff, its own resonance. Then you got the scream filter in filter 1, and then the filter 1 comp filter has its own cutoff. So it depends on what you have selected, and then you can edit it. The last page is then the layer volumes you also can change here. So these are the controls here. So it's all presets are tagged, and soon hopefully available for you guys. Maybe at the end of April. So maybe already next week that you can download the NKS compatible Albino 3. So checking the chat room. See, everybody is a bit in the chat room. Yeah, what else also in progress is Prisma, but we encounter a little problem. So we're still fixing a few bugs. But in the meantime, I did, for instance, a very nice Jupyter stack pad, which was using 2 of the bit sounds of BIT-2. You see, stereo control, you can make the attack change so that it's suddenly. So, but there are some little issues which we are going to release Prisma version 1.06, which also downloads. So let me go to the user presets, and here you see something that went wrong here. I did try to combine Albino 3 with Go2X, but what happens, and that's the bug, is if the second layer is another instrument, something resets this instrument, so it doesn't memorize the preset it's used. So this was essentially a combination of a pad from Albino 3 together with Go2X. So this one is corrupt, this preset. I need to fix that again. But also did, for instance, this one. It's a nice BIT-2 modeler. If you have a nice beat, this is really very cool, this one. Essentially uses 2-bit. This is the first sound. So I can play it. So it's really a nice modular patch. I call this kind of modular stuff. So if I solo it, that one is combined with this one. And then you got a nice combination. Yeah, and the multi-control makes that you can change different parameters. Yeah, that's very cool of Prisma, is that you combine two synths together, making really cool stack sounds. Of course, you can also layer two tracks in your music host, but this one you can memorize. So that's one. Let me see. Yeah, this one is corrupt. Synthos Red is also corrupt. Yeah, so that one. See, you have some test sounds here. This uses Go to X with BIT-2. So let's play this with a beat, and that's much nicer. Yeah, cool, isn't it? So that makes that you can do really, and you still can add it. I still can change here things. So that's work in progress. One trick what I can do if I can combine. Let me see. Yeah, I see all kind of test things. Modular bit sequence. We had that one already. The BIT-2 super pad I showed. Oh no, that's the BIT-2 super pad. That was a few weeks ago. We discussed this 2-bit sounds to make a big pad sound. And yeah, it's inside of it. Here you see also attack and release you can control for both the synths, balance of the pad and the stereo layer. So let's play this one. And you can adjust it. So the balance of the pad makes that it's a bit more mellow. Yeah, I would also save this one, by the way. So let me save this one as well. Save preset as an iSuperpad 2. And of course, I need to rename the other one essentially because that will be then Superpad 1. Let me see, rename and 1. Oops. Oh, it doesn't do what I want to do. Maybe I should better do it here. Rename pad, super pad. Oh, cancel. Why is this doing strange? The menu is a little bit different because we use a different software for recreating the... okay, that's the reason. Okay, super pad 1. Now I'm good. What I will do after the live stream, because Prisma already loads BIT-2. So the BIT SuperPad 1 and 2 I make for you downloadable. Please copy it over in the manager in the SuperPads. There you better copy it over because there will land my versions as well once we release it. So now it's in the user presets because I'm working on presets and mostly I drop them in these and then I move them over. So which I could do now. So I have 2 of them here. These 2. I could move them over to the SuperPad. So copy it and paste then the files into the Prisma bank folder. I will put that information inside the info section on YouTube. So you get then the BIT-2 SuperPad 1, BIT-2 SuperPad 2, and the Jupyter Stack Pad. And I think also the modular bit sequence I could do for you. But that one you need then to copy to the, I think to the classic stacks. That will be a good point to do it in there. But so the pads into the pads. So like this Jupyter pad. This one. Okay, this one has that one is wrong. Yeah, the BIT-2 SuperPad. And SuperPad 2. So, but maybe it's cool to make another sequence stuff with BIT-2. We had, of course, this sequence of fun parts. So, okay, let me check. Of course, I should try then a new preset, and then I would call this one BIT-2 sequence. What would it then be? A nice name? Sequence me. Okay. Should have a name. Okay, no, it's empty, of course. Then the first thing I will do is select BIT-2 and look for a nice basic preset, which I can start with. So the last thing I will do then is, for instance, also can do it in BIT itself. So I open BIT and then check for, go to the ARP and sequences. Just take one. Okay, this is not bad. So what I mostly do is shut off the delay because you can use the delay of Prisma itself. So I keep this one. And now I'll go to a second BIT-2. Okay, edit BIT-2 again. Search again for sound, which sounds nicely to this one. So again, to the ARP sequence. Let's see what we could take. Catch a modeler. So this one is below it. Okay, also here I shut down the delay, so the delay is now gone for both of them. Now I always use then, for instance, the last one for the stereo delay adding. And you see, you hear in one preset, you hear the phaser, but that I keep in because that I think is a nice part of this synth sound. But the delay I could share together and do this in Prisma. In Prisma, then you go here to the FX section. I select here one, stereo tape delay, okay. And it's the way it's done like a mixer, FX sand. So layer 1, FX1 sand is, and for layer 1 and layer 2, FX1 sand. So this is the FX1 sand. I put it then on, let's say, 88% max. And then I have this fourth fader. I have that one for the delay. Now, what is the cool thing about the layers is that each has also a EQ. So this layer 1 bit also has its own EQ. So you can have a high pass filter if it's low rumbling a bit too much. So I cut away the low end of it because I need to put on the EQ. Okay, that's better. So because then the low end was a little rumbling with the other one. So each layer also has its own EQ. Now what I can do now is see if I can address the filters, but which is still a little bug. Maybe I succeed in this one, because that's also something we need to fix. Filter. Cut off layer 1. Okay. Yeah, it can be used. Okay, filter, cut off layer 2. So that's the second synth. Let me see what that one does. Okay, layer 2 filter frequency. So now I can adjust a little bit the sound. This one. And this one would maybe nice to have a little bit of room. So I take the reverb from you see also the phaser. Now, and then of course I can control the balance of sounds. So I can have the first oscillator volume going down a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna save this one. Save preset. Of course, I need to get, yes, Windows, I know. I have to give it a tagging, set category. This is an ARP sequencer. It's, well, it's pretty percussive. Yeah, it's very minimal, the tagging we have inside Prisma. But okay, yeah, you combine things together, so it's always a layered preset. Okay. So let's see how how the volume is. Of course, important. I check the volume of the sound. Okay. I think it's not bad. You need also one that the volume is about the same with the other instruments. Can a little bit louder. Okay, I'm gonna save it again, and we get again the yeah, Windows. But this is a nice sound. So that's the cool thing of Prisma. You combine two sounds, you added them, and of course, what is important is to add the controls for changing the sound at the very last moment. So you first fiddle around with the instruments. And then you do the last thing is here. We still have a little some bugs because the addressing the amount controls to some of the parameters we still need to improve, but it's workable. So you get you can change it dynamically. Isn't it? Yeah, I really love Prisma. I mean, it's really a great addition to our product line. And for the people who don't know Prisma is a free product if you own at least one product, one instrument. So each instrument can be loaded into Prisma. So if you only have BIT-2, you still can use Prisma because, yeah, it will ignore the other layers if they have another instrument. But if you have only BIT-2, you also can combine Prisma. Create your own presets with Prisma, combining two presets together. So what I will do after the live stream is anyhow zip the preset and will tell you the instructions how you can copy over these presets into Prisma and that you can enjoy the presets. Okay, I'm checking the chat room. If there's any question popping up. Good, yeah. Yeah, and Prisma, even with RG, we have some combinations which are interesting. Of course, Jabal did some great stuff for Prisma. Of course, it always needs time to load in. Now here it uses twice Predator 2, and that's the reason why we have, for instance, in the Explorer 9, the legacy installer, which you can use to add our older products. So that's combining. This one uses Blade, Blue 2, and Punch. It's a complete band. And with Punch, it's the original Punch. We make a delayer the case, because if you go to the easy edit page, the keyboard layout, you see that the keyboard layout for Punch is a lot different compared to the other ones. because with the keyboard layout of Punch, you trigger the grooves instead of playing the individual drum sounds. So it's a nice way to play the grooves. So it's very important if you have the Explorer bundle to also install the, we called it in Explorer 8, we have that as a Prisma edition, but now in Explorer 9 we call it the legacy plugins, which are, by the way, all now VST3. So if you like to use Prisma in the max way, then it's wise to install Explorer 9 and the legacy edition. Because, yeah, see, for instance, in motion picture, where all kind of things are combined, you find a lot of the older ones which are used, even the original Predator. So with BIT-2 and Punch. So, all right. Oh, this one uses BIT-3 and BIT-2. So some very nice presets are inside of it. A side trip. You see it needs loaded BIT-2 twice and the original Predator. So it's still the original Predator, which is still available if you install the Explorer. Yeah, and up here you can see that it always pops up loading, please wait, because it needs to load in Punch 2, Quad, and BIT. Most likely Quad will not play because I need to install it again. So I'm missing some of the sounds in this one. Bush plane, I have no idea. These are, yeah, using the original Punch. So here's the original Punch in the smaller screen, you see. Using Blade. Yeah, you can do a lot of cool things with Prisma. Okay, let me check out the other chat room posts. Everybody, welcome. Yeah, at the start of the live stream, if you joined later on, I had the... is the volume of the microphone still very low? Oh, that's strange. Okay. Or is it now better? I think in the start of the live stream, it might be a bit low because I was editing the Korg MS-20. I posted on Facebook a cryo sound, which I did in the past using two Korg MS-20, but it's the wrong patch. It's more the male cryo sound, which we use on a very old album from 1982. So the other patch, I still need to look if I still have this paper flying around somewhere, which are the more female sounds. Yeah. Of course, we have the BIT-2 months this month. Not sure what we did last week. Yeah, I showed a little bit of what the power is of BIT-2. Why also my brand doesn't do any replica type of things. Because it's already done by other brands and I rather focus on doing some cool new stuff. So you see behind me, you see, if I turn a little bit, you see my Mini Moog, you see the Jupiter, it's Prophet 600. There you see some modern classic, and yeah, on the right hand side, if I turn this little webcam. Oops, you'll find Korg MS-20, the SH-101, the Take 5 from Sequential, which I use on stage. So I have some older and modern analog classic. And so what I wanted to do with software is simply having the inspiration from these little marvelous machines, but then do also things which are possible with software. For instance, this ribbon controller down here, you find a ribbon controller on any hardware synthesizer, but none of them has the function that if you let go of the ribbon controller, that the parameter, which is it controlling, goes back in a tempo-based case. So here you see it's going back in a half bar tempo. So if I open the filter, let go, it goes back to the center position, very smooth. Of course, you can also do it manually if you shut it off. Then it stays. Or you say, go back in 1 bar tempo. Or go up, so the ribbon. So these are new synths features which can be done in the software. The other thing is what I mentioned inside here. We have each oscillator has its own LFO, its own envelope, which makes that you keep the mod matrix free from other things. We did so. BIT means back in time. But not back in time in terms of features. So it can do great the pads, which are essentially how I created them also in my Jupiter, but also has the filters for doing some great minimal lead sounds, attic, moogie, so this kind of things. So, and then of course, which is very often not the case on the very classic sense, you only could have maybe a chorus, 60, but not a top quality reverb or delay. So, yeah, I'm still coughing, Johan, but yeah, Saturday, by the way, is eLive in Eindhoven, but it's sold out, so it doesn't matter if you drive there to Eindhoven, because it's sold out. So can synths run GPUs? No, we don't have that. There's a particular reason for it. There is indeed a code available for virtual instruments where you can have also used the graphic card CPU power, and it's can be added to the VST3 version. The reason why we don't do it is because then you depend on third-party developers, and if they have a bug, we also have a bug. So I think in terms of CPU load, or synthesizers and plugins are very modest, especially if you have a recent computer. You can do insanely much with our plugins. So there's no need to have this, so that's the reason we don't want to have third-party code parts in our plugins, because then you also load in the potentially the problems if they have bugs. And that's also the reason, for instance, why, because Prisma is a free product in which you can load our instruments. Some people ask, oh, I would love to combine a Predator with a Massive or any other virtual synthesizer in Prisma, but we don't do this because A, it's a free product, and B, if it's a free product and one of the third-party plugins have an issue, we have to dive into it. So we keep it safe for our own plugins, and if you would like to combine all these things together, I really can advise you Unify, which is a great product, like similar to Prisma, but even goes beyond in terms of features. So you can load in FX, you can load in all kind of plugins. Check it out. It's not very expensive. It has a huge amount of things already inside of it, and it's called Unify. Most know it, of course. Oh, that's a good point, Johan, about E-Day, which is in Eindhoven in the, now I forgot the location. It's in the center. Nat Lab, it's called. Nat Lab, yeah. And there you can find this concert, but there are indeed also concerts in the main area, which are free for everybody. And of course, there is a lot you can buy CDs. You can meet me there because I also have a stand. And so that's so if you are planning to go, I'm sure I'm gonna meet Johan and Rob there. So it's gonna be fun. It's a very nice event. Twice a year. In October is another one. So, but I will keep you posted on that subject. Okay. CKE. Okay, it's CKE, not Nat Lab. CKE it is. Yes. Good. Thanks for correcting Johan. So I will do the presets which I created today together with the other ones which are from the I'm using BIT-2. So BIT-2 sequence me. This is a nice sequence. Yeah, and then we had, of course, the super pad, which we created a few weeks ago by simply combining two BIT-2 tracks in Cubase, and then you click two tracks together and they play together. But of course, in Prisma, you can or variation 2, which is more the mellow one, is more on top of it. Then we have the super pad. Jupiter 8. This is two Jupiter 8 type of sounds stacked together. So you see here preset GPay, Dual Pad 3 and Pad Type 2. So there are... It's a bit louder. So I need to fix the volume a little bit. Okay, I see a question. What is best, USB or Firewire? I think Firewire is a little bit gone, isn't it? It's very similar to USB, only a different type of connection. So some of the Apple computers have the Firewire, but I think it's pretty similar. It seems that for audio, USB 2 is already more than enough for having all the data going precisely in out. Now many are also now USB 3, but I'm not sure if it makes sense if you have 250 audio tracks recording at once. I myself use on stage. I have a Steinberg audio card, and I have in my studio the RME audio card, which is very good in its latency. The only thing with the RME card needs a little bit time in learning. So here it is. You see, you have the loop back, which means that I loop back to the so that you can hear me and hear the audio from Cubase. But the mixer, you need to learn a little bit of it. But it's very high quality. They're not cheap. They're, I think, one of the most expensive audio cards, but they are rock solid. And I still have, for instance, a PCI card in my other computer, which is still working, which is the Fireface. Maybe I think it's already 20 years old and still runs. They are very good in their drivers and. So I'm a big RME fan, but I also have very good experience with the Yamaha ones. So okay, yeah, guys, that was a little bit for today. Next week we catch up again. As mentioned, I will upload these presets for you, so okay, that you can download it. Takes maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I will put in the info section, the description below info. I will put in the zip file, so you have these Prisma presets I created with using BIT-2, so they are already will work in your Prisma system. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and we catch up next week again, and enjoy creating music, and see you next time. Bye bye.